new energy power generation, data center, power quality, and high efficiency motor drive, and code heat management, and its related. We supply heat transfer product, air-cooled, water-cooled, and phase change product. Our comprehensive capabilities include vacuum brazing, controlled atmosphere brazing, welding, CNC machining, aluminum extrusion, aluminum die casting, sheet metal fabrication, assembly, and packing. We make things simple and practical to support your business, no matter if you one individual or set up our Fortune 500 company. First, let me introduce the liquid cooling system first. A typical liquid cooling system is composed of heat exchangers, cold plate, pumps, hoses, and the clamps. LCS are used across the range of electronics, from consumer product to high power military electronic devices. The cooling plates are as the key component is absorb the heat from the source. Metalli R&D team have full experience on this kind of cooling plate design. Based on the thermal analysis, we can provide customers with complete cooling solutions for product development. And the next one, we will introduce some kinds of vacuum brazing liquid cold plate for guys. And the first one is vacuum brazed liquid cold plate, and this is a vacuum brazed liquid cold plate, and as we can see here are two connectors. One is the inlet and the other one is the outlet. Brazing is a process of joining two or more metals, such as aluminum plate. This is an aluminum plate. By melting a filter metal over the brazing alloy, the filter has a melting point well below that of the base material. Such you can look here. Here is a layer of filter, and this is a high-end joining technology, resulting parts with extremely strong joints and no residue cross flux. The benefit of vacuum brazing liquid cold plate include uniform heating, and we do this plate with CNC machining and then put the whole surface together for melting. The process repeatability when compared to other metal joining processes. Brazing does not melt, and the base metal of the joint, which allows for more precise control of tolerances. Vacuum brazing aluminum brazing also minimum the distortion of the parts due to the uniform heating and the cooling as compared to the localized joining process. The type of brazing creates a continuous continuous, hermetically sealed bond. Vacuum furnace brazing offers extremely repeatable results due to the critical furnace parameters that are attained with every load, that is, vacuum levels and temperature uniformities. However, electronics components require a cooling solution that is both effective and reliable. Our experience is in designing and both effective and reliable. Our experience, our engineer has many experience in this kind of design and technical support. The manual it allows us to achieve guaranteed tightness with no seams, roughness, corrosion-free, and excellent thermal performance. Those cold plates are generally used for high-performance designs that require low thermal resistance and superior leak-free reliability. For every customer, we do 100% leakage test for their orders. And they enable designers the greatest flexibility in specifying such as criteria as thermal resistance and thermal flow, pressure drop, fluid pace, size, shape, material hardness, surface geometry, and the ability to mount components on both sides of the plate. Machining flow guides can create the internal features and the fins from the base metal. Uh, if you want to increase the thermal performance of this kind of simple liquid coat plate with simple overlook, we can put fins to increase the thermal transfer area for you to increase the performance inside the flow paste. And the integrity of the brazed joint meets the most demanding applications. The high reliability allows for manufacturing of practical macro-channel devices, cold plate radiators, and microwave antennas and waveguides. Brazed cold plate construction, the material is generally with aluminum 61606 cereals, aluminum alloy, and the internal fins structure is processed processed by CNC machining of folded fin, folded fin, or stamping fin, or extruded fin. It depends on the process we produce the base material for the vacuum brazing plate. And the brazing standards, our cold plate are brazed as per CE. We have CE certificates for this kind of plates. And if you want us to do other certificates as per your country requirements, and we can cooperate with some third party test party and to help you get the certificates. and the device's coolant. Liquid-cooled plate can be engineered to perform with device coolant, including water, glycol solutions, and the electric fluids. The electric fluids are widely used for IGBT modules and some semiconductors. And this is the vacuum brazing liquid cold plate. And next one, let me introduce the roll-bound liquid cold plate. This is a roll-bound liquid cold plate. As we can see, there are some small flow channels on the plate, and the plate is very thin. It's much thinner than the one I introduced before, the vacuum brazing liquid cold plate. Roll-bound liquid cold plates are generally made of two weld aluminum plates. These plates are welded to each other under high heat and high pressure. A silk screen pattern is applied on one of the aluminum plates. In the interface, this prevents the bonding of the aluminum plates when they are rolled together. The channel's unique pillow structure. As we can see, the flow structure is very special, and creates a flow into an optimum turbulence state to achieve highly efficient heat exchange. The space between the plates is pressurized to deform one or both plates to create the channels for a cooling medium to circulate. The inflated spray is then sealed, and it can be applied in irregular shapes. This is irregular shape with such as the section is like the U channel, as we can see here, and it is 100% designed as per customers' requirements and application power modules. And at high pressures, it can stand high pressures and high temperatures, eliminating any machining process. Make this dimples effective and greatly lowering manufacturing cost. If you have a large order quantity with for the unit price, you want a lower unit price, you can take this process. And the tooling cost just to be invested once, and you can get your lower unit price with the liquid cold plate. And for this kind of liquid cold plate, as far as we know, they have widely used for many applications, such as the carbon for the environment protection and for battery cooling. And okay, this is the roll-bound liquid cold plate. And the next one is the stamping and the brazed liquid cold plate. For this kind of liquid cold plate, it is a hot steel product in the electric vehicle field. And as we can see, the size is larger, much larger than the vacuum brazed cold plate and the Rowan plate I introduced before. For this kind of liquid cold plate, it is widely used in electric vehicle batteries and other thermal management products, project which need which needs large size for cooling. And with stamped and brazed liquid cold plates, channels are created from the stamping process. On one of the two plates used to create the cold plate, such as this one. This is it. This is the stamping plate with the stamping channel. We produce this plate with the stamping mold, and the customer can invest the stamping mold uh, for this plate, and then we put them together to vacuum or to braze them by vacuum brazing over atmosphere controlled brazing. Also, the brazing process we have introduced before. Uh, it is use of filter metal with a lower melting point. It is melted into the joints of the top plate by capillary action under the corresponding technology conditions and connect to plates to form a internal flow channel. Brace them together and the flow channel, there will be flow channel in it, and the inlet and outlet is on the base plate here. For this kind of liquid cold plate, stamping, vacuum brazing cold plates have obvious following advantages. First one is no flux process. Can It can be used for as a clean parts and highly reliable and controllable batch processing. The the second one, point three, is the uniform material characteristics during and after brazing. For this kind of liquid cold plate, we suggest customer when we suggest customer to take this solution, customer will have a large order quantity for their such as battery cooling or some other kinds of applications. They don't need to need they have made sample before with CNC machining and vacuum brazing, and then the design is confirmed, and customer will invest the tooling cost to make a mass production to proceed mass production for this kind of product. And the next one is tube liquid cold plate. For this kind of liquid cold plate, many customers knows liquid cold plates from this kind of place. This is a irregular place. It is totally designed as per customer's requirements. Uh, such a We have lots of standard cold plate with copper tube, and I can show you some pictures. And this kind is a two-pass copper tube liquid cold plate, and this one is the four-pass liquid cold plate. Four-pass, this is the six-pass liquid cold plate. Um, The difference between these three plates is the copper tube numbers on the aluminum plates. This the stand. We have lots of band modules, fixtures for this kind of copper tubes. If you have requirements about this kind of standard copper liquid coat plate, you can contact us. It is a cost-effective solution for liquid cooling, and you don't need to invest the tooling cost. We can supply the standard cooling plates for you to test the product. And for this kind of liquid coat plate, it tends to be the simplest form of the plates, cooling plates, where a joint-free tube is embedded into the grooved machined copper or aluminum base plate. This is the grooved aluminum plate, and you can see the copper tube will embedded into this plate with special shape as per customers' requirements. As we can see, there are lots of holes and machining surface on the base plate. It is totally as per your requirements. And dependent on the required thermal performance and the cooling fluid to be used, the tube can be copper or stainless steel, and can be simple mechanical dry press fit and press fit with a thermal epoxy boundary to eliminate macro valleys and soldered in place and the maximum in place for maximum the thermal performance. Coat plates with single, and this is single tube, and multi-pass tubes. The embedded tubes is a fluid outlet, and this reduces the risk. Risk of any leakage, but also has a guaranteed thermal profile. As the cooling fluids get progressively hotter, thereby pretending the last components with a different coolant temperature than the first. This drawback can be somewhat reduced by constructing a multi-pass design, where the cooling fluid is looped back through the coat plates and separate the fluid. Fate can be traveled in the opposite direction to the first. Another method of improving the thermal profile offered to all components is to design a tube in plate with inlet and outlet headers. This divided the incoming cooling fluid onto the parallel tubes and offers a much more even thermal profile. Coat plates with concealed tubes. The tube can be embedded further into the base so that it could device mounted on both sides of the plate. This copper tube only embedded in one side of the base plate, and we can also apply two sides of the plate with the copper tube to cooling the power modules with two sides, and to save some space for an application on your size. And the tube is not exposed to external elements with an epoxy layer to provide additional protection for any leakage. This option provides greater flexibility, but the thermal performance is limited because of the surface area of the tube. of the tube perimeter. Coat plates with exposed tubes. The tube can be placed towards the top surface of the base. This provides better cooling to device mounted on that surface, so it is in direct contact with the power device. With the less thermal interface between the fluids and the power device, the application will see an increase of the performance for the application. The advantages for this kind of plate, such as used for low to medium power density applications, and the cost-effective 2-pass, 4-pass, 6-passes standard coat plate. Customize the tube paces for enhanced performance. Such as this one, it is a customized tube paste like this to enhance the performance and to achieve the max performance for customers, to best match the power devices on the customer side. Coat plate construction. About this kind of construction, as we can see, the base plate is aluminum, and for this kind of material can be aluminum 6061, aluminum alloy 6063 over copper, and tube diameters such as there are lots of standard copper diameters for this kind of plates. And the wall thickness is generally 0.05 inches. And the standard band ready, we have lots of standard band ready with toolings. And if you have requirements, we can select a suitable fixture for you for quick solution and best and cost-effective solution for you to get the sample quickly for your test. If you also want a custom shape like this or other kinds of shape, if the copper can be bent to this shape, we can supply it and just send us the drawing and over your power modules drawing, we can design it as accordingly. And the production benefits of this kind of plates is high quality fabrications, and as we can see, the machining surface like on the base plate and the hole, so many types of holes on the plates, and special connectors for customers. And it can meet the ISO 9001 certified QMS, cost effective for high volume production, and placed with flat copper tubes. Flat copper tubes provides higher performance than aluminum flat tubes. It is due to the liquid can be water or other common coolant. It is due to the material physics characteristics of the copper and the aluminum. And the flatness flat to 0.0005 inch over inch 0.005 overall both sides. We can do it both sides with flatness requirements. And the flat copper tube, liquid coat plates, water blocks. Liquid coat plates allows for high level of heat transfer by passing heat from the metal plate to the cooling fluid. to the cooling fluid, often used in compact designs for electric vehicles, high-powered electronics, and power generation, medical equipment, military and aerospace, and lasers. Applications include cooling IGBT to ensure their reliability. This is often critical when IGBT is used in electric vehicles and hybrid cars. The semiconductors are used to control the arc motors and generators connected to the car's battery. IGBT power module power semiconductor can also be found in power supplies, variable speed refrigerators, air conditioners, and digital amplifiers, and high-end consumer audio systems. We custom design each place, including the ideal flow paste. This paste can be machined into the base plate, or can be part of an extruded base plate. It depends on the process of the plate production. This paste can be the copper tubes are then press fit into the paste. Subsequent machining of the coat plate with the tube installed provides a very flat surface. Copper flat tube can be manufactured in any length. We can do it with big size or small size like this. With a warehouse provided large copper plates for Indian customers with 1 meters wide and 2 meters long. If you have big requirements with tube liquid coat plate, we can also supply it. The copper tube can be very very long, and the copper tubes, in addition being pressed fit into the base plate, they can also designed and assembled in a ladder configuration. Flat copper tube coat plate have very low thermal resistance and offer excellent thermal uniformity. They are compatible with water and many other common coolants. Since the design and coolants with the plate high performance can be achieved when the components are direct contact with the copper tubes. Designs that allows components such as IGBT and to be attached to both sides are also possible. The next one is the extruded macro-channel liquid coat plates for cooling power electronics and battery packs. As we can see, battery packs is a hostile word in the market. And for macro-channel tube liquid coat plate, let me introduce the base material for you guys. And this is a macro-channel tube with lots of macro channels into it, and the stick is very thinner and it's very light. And the next one is also we form this kind of macro channel tubes to different shapes to fit customers' battery pack design and the end application design. Today's heat exchangers must meet a variety of highly demanding requirements. In terms of performance, they have to ensure maximum heat transfer performance while keeping size to the minimum. The durability of the heat exchanger must be extremely high, providing trouble-free performance throughout its service life at low manufacturing cost. Microchannel heat exchangers offers potential for highly compact solution in heat transfer applications that have space limitations such as automobile vehicles. Microchannel heat exchangers and liquid cold plates use extruded regular flat tubes with multi-small channels, such as this, running the length of the tube. They are available in variety of designs and complexity to provide an ideal solution used in heat exchangers. They are exceptionally capable of handling high-pressure refrigerant and are manufactured to meet customers' specific requirements with respect to alloy geometry, wall, and web thickness. With very low thermal resistance, macro extrusions are ideal for cooling high heat density components. Additional coating protection is also available when required special applications. They can manufacture in any length, assembled in a ladder configuration, or integrated into a base plate for a large area cooling. The aluminum fly tube can be also curved like this into the radius to as tight as 6.35 millimeter for cooling a cylindrical or curved object. This kind of microchannel tube is designed for cylindrical batteries for electric airplane. And the tubes can also include internal fins. We can also put internal fins into this kind of tubes. This is hollow here, and we can put fins into it. And provides additional surface area which increase the thermal performance and offer excellent thermal uniformity as coolant flow below the entire surface. The aluminum construction makes it one of the most sustainable solutions in the market due to its high strength sealed design and recyclable material. The cold plate is with large internal surface. As we can see, this is also a microchannel liquid cold plate, and the tube can be longer than this, and the width can be wider than this one. So it can achieve a large size with this kind of tube. You can add a number of these kind of tubes, and the connectors are specially machined as per customer requirements to fit the quick connectors with the quick plastic connectors for customers, which are widely used on the automobile now. And the cold plates, large internal face and area combined with its low pressure drop makes it ideal for use with various and low heat capacity fluid. Microchannel liquid cold plates are ideal for cooling small, high heat density components such as thermoelectric modules. The low-profile nature of those cold plates works well in applications with limited space that also require high-performance cooling. As we can see, the thickness is very small, and it will save the it allows the limited space mounting installation, and the micro channels between in the tubes increase the area for the liquid cold plates to enhance the heat performance. And the next one is friction stir weld liquid cold plate. It is also a widely used technology for liquid cold plate, and such as the copper tube liquid cold plate. We don't have a sample here, but I can trans introduce it briefly for you. And there are also two plates for friction stir weld liquid cold plates. And the plates are then machined into the base of the cold plate, which allows the liquid to flow through this place. This flow path can be very complex and includes fins and turbulators to significantly increase the heat transfer. A top piece is then placed on the base plate, um, and the friction stir welded into the place. The difference between the vacuum brazing plate with the friction stir weld liquid cold plate is the vacuum brazing is a full surface welding technology, and a much security is much safe than the safe ensure the safe use for the application, and the friction stir weld liquid cold place is mild is the method for liquid cold place is solid state drawing process where the metal is not melted. Uh, it is more of a forging process that uses standing pin and downward force to create a bond between the two pieces. The joint material is practiced by heat generated by friction between the surface of the plate and the contact surface. The process is implemented on high-speed vertical CNC machine. Machining and welding are done on the same work center. The frictional heat is generated while staying below the melting points between the wear resistance welding tool. Finally, the welded surface is fly cut, inlet and outlet holes, and components mounting holes are added. A friction stir welded cold plate results in a leak-proof steel that is very strong and is relatively strong and reliable. If offer complex fluid space and has the ability to join different alloys. The benefits of this kind of plate is no leaking. For every liquid cold plate, we do leakage test for you with different, whether it was vacuum brazing technology or friction stir welded technology, and providing strength, improving as improve the weld strength, environmentally friendly, and higher production volumes, significantly reduce the end weight, no filler material, and faster prototyping, prototyping, deformations less likely, high degree of customization, and superior quality delivered quickly. We are experienced in design and manufacturing friction steel welded high conductivity cold plates from all types of machine extruded and cast aluminum alloys. Let us design and build to your print the best performing and the most cost-effective cold plates are liquid cooling for liquid cooling today. And next one is the casting liquid cold plate. From the name of the place, we will know the technology is die casting. Die cast mold plates are suitable for complex liquid cooling, such as this one. There is a plate with different height, the base plate, and the tubes, the copper tubes can put into the die casting mold for the final product we want. And the die casting is an efficient, economical process, offering a broader range of designs than any other manufacturing technology. Die casting are monolithic. They combine many functions in one complex shaped parts, produced at high rates of production with little and no machining required. As we can see, with the mold, we can produce the holes directly and no need to machining it later. And the process involved forcing molten metals into the die casting cavity to create a reproducible three-dimensional parts. It can quickly yield complex, precise, rigid cast parts with a smooth surface that only intense secondary machining. Many customers will start their designs with a machined aluminum liquid cold plate for prototyping, pre-production, and small volume production. As their production volume grows, the tooling investment cost to transaction to a die cast part provides for a good return due to the lower cost of the cold plate. There are lots of benefits for this kind of die casting liquid cold plate. Point one, it can be produced with thinner walls. The wall can be thinner and have a feel and appearance of quality. Complex shapes with enclosure tolerance, and holes can be cored and made to type drill sizes. External stress on the parts can be readily die cast, provides parts which are durable, dimensionally stable, because they are come out from one side of mold, so the parts are durable and dimensionally stable. Corrosion resistance of die casting alloys raised from good to high. Can be produced with surface simulating a wide variety of textures insert of some other metals, such as this copper tube, and some non-metal and some non-metals can be die cast in place. It can also be easily plated or finished with minimum of surface preparation. Because die casting do not consist of separate parts, welded or fastened together, the strength is that of the material, not that of threads or valves. The casting produces parts that are durable and dimensionally stable while maintaining close tolerances. They are also heat resistant. The casting also provides integral fastening elements such as bosses and stud. We can also produce it with a mold such as there. If you want, there are some stud on the base plate over on this surface or on the side surface. We can do all this for you to fit and match your installation best perfectly. And the casting also provides integration, which can result in assembly economies. They can produce thousands of identical casting within specified tolerances before additional tooling may be required. And the next one is the radiator in the liquid cooling system. All the product I introduced before is the liquid cold plate, the vacuum brazed liquid cold plate, and the tube liquid cold plate, stamping liquid cold plate, and microchannel liquid cold plate. All these parts, all this liquid cold plate are the part of liquid cooling systems. And for liquid cooling system, the radiator is also an essential part for it. And such as this one. This is a radiator in the PC cooling systems, and it is suitable for two fans. And we can mount two fans on the surface to cool the liquid, to cool the hot water or the hot coolant from the liquid cold plate. And there are some holes for mounting, and it can be. There are some standard holes for your applications. We can also supply customized holes for you, and the connector can be installed to this inlet or this outlets, and we can also supply many standard size connectors for you. The function of the radiator is to cool the hot coolant in the liquid cooling system from the liquid cold plate, which is called the power modules. And the hearth is also the essential parts in the systems. There are so many materials of the horses, such as this one is best suitable for the liquid cooling system for automobile vehicles, electric. There are some fibers in the rubber, as you can see the section here, and it can be bended to any shape. And the pump is the heart for the is a heart, like the heart for our body, to push the liquid for the whole circle. And we have different power for for the pump. This is a small pump for a small liquid cooling system, and with DC 12 voltage, and we can also supply it with DC 24 voltage or other kinds of pump with large cool capacity, um, such as 220 voltage and 380 voltage. It depends on your requirements. And this is the liquid cold plate and the liquid cooling system we introduced today. And as the whether it's more liquid cooling system or a large liquid cooling system, the cooling parts is same, such as the radiator with fan, the hoses, the pipes, the pumps, and the liquid cold plate. Also, all the basic parts for the system. If you have requirements with drawing, just send it to us, and we will send you estimate price for you and the cost for a system. We can also supply to you if you have system requirements. Just send us the flow rate, and such as the flow rate, the pressure, and the fluid type, and the other parameters you have in hand, and we will design it for you. There are so many kinds of so many engineers and who has many years experience on this kind of thermal management products. And for the liquid cold plate, if you have a size of an overall size over only a power module, you can send us the power module drawing or the sample. We can design for you, or you better with the liquid cold plate drawing. We can send you price with the drawing, and if no drawing, we can make draw a drawing for you. And if you also want us to test the place performance for you, we also can do it with simulation, and the simulation report can be provided to you. This is the liquid cooling system, and if you have requirements, you can contact us. And finally, if you have other requirements, such as not the liquid cooling place, air-cooled heating or some other radiators, you can also send us the design or the cooling power, cooling capacity you need. We can select suitable models for you. And that's all for today. And if your guys have questions or requirements, just click the product link and contact our salespersons for help to confirm your requirements and supply professional and quick service for you. And so that's all for today. 稍等一下，收拾东西也要直播。来收拾东西。到了，可以。先放下。都没讲太长了。
你不会在哪里住山吗？你大概住这儿。